Hey, how you doing? Looks like the technology is working. Hopefully I'm not buffering tonight. I did make sure that my VPN was disconnected and all seems well. So in this very special Wednesday night stream, it's like the good old days when we used to do streams on a Wednesday. Do you remember? On this very special Wednesday night stream, I've got a very special guest. I think most of you know who he is. You know Carl Broadbent, aka Carl Broadbent. He's in the green room right now, and we're going to be talking about, well, anything really. He's going to be here to take your questions. I want to talk to him about his journey because I've seen a transformation in Carl, really. You know, when he first appeared on my channel, in the comments he was working for a supermarket, or I think it was a supermarket, and just thinking about doing some stuff. And then he won that income school competition. Do you remember that? We're going to talk about that. And then since then he's just been working like a dog, churning out content. He puts in so many hours every day. And just the other day, if you saw his channel, he sold his website for a very tidy sum. Oh, my audio's... Oh, God. Thank you for letting me know. I knew there'd be something wrong. Is the sound better now? Sounds like Pirate Radio. Yeah, is that better? Or is that too quiet now? Let me check over here. Is that too quiet now? Is that better? I do apologise. You did hear that, or do you want me to do that all again? Oh, it's always something. I did check all those levels. How did it just jump up there? Maybe I got the gain up too much on this. Anyway, let's go. Okay, I think we should just bring him straight in. Do you think? Let's go. Carl, you're live.
Hello.
I just had my mic up far too loud for that introduction, so people just heard a whole load of distortion. But I think they got the gist. Do let me know in the chat if it's too loud. Let me just check what my gain is doing on this mic. It's not up too high. I think it's okay. Okay, good. So Carl, thanks for joining me on this special Wednesday stream. Well, we're going to talk about everything and anything really. I've said that people can obviously put questions in the chat. Do you have the chat in front of you now? Are you able to see what people are saying? Yeah,
I can see it. Yeah. Feel free to ask anything. Yeah.
Okay, just before we do that, I'm going to say a quick hello to a few WP Eaglers. They're the guys in green in the chat. So tonight we've got Kono, we've got Adrian, we've got J5. We've got Sue. Good to see you. Then, of course, we've got Arnold, we've got Bradbury, we've got Bram, we've got Craig. Hello to you. Daryl, Griff, Jason, Justin here as usual, and Jim and Kevin. Good to see you, and Koo, and MMK Ventures. Loads of regulars. Phil, of course, and Helen and Dana will be moderating you all tonight, so behave yourself. Sean is in the house. Good to see Sean. I'm sure Sean's been busy all day. By the way, if anyone wants to jump on, I can open up the stream, so maybe Sean, if anyone wants to jump in and join us, that'd be great as well. Maybe do that later. Mastermind, good to see you, and Walt and Will Cole 1. And I can never pronounce your name because it's in Russian characters, but hello to you. So Carl, what's new apart from lots of things?
Well, busy at the minute for Black Friday, so yeah, sure a lot of people are on the sites at the moment, so I've been busy doing that the last couple of days. So yeah, but still, still excited and buzzing from selling the site, but also thinking about Christmas at the minute, so publishing like crazy at the moment. Okay, so
let's go back to the beginning, because maybe I know most people here do know you, but maybe there is some people that don't. How did all this start? Take us back to the beginning. Because before, and I think you still are working a little bit for them, you were working at a supermarket, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it was actually kind of before that. So I worked for Pizza Hut as a manager for Pizza Hut, and the Pizza Hut got franchised, taken over. So it was all looking a bit doom and gloom for them. I'd been with them, a few years, and started looking for another job, and found a job in a supermarket. Got taken on, luckily, a big supermarket chain as a manager level straight in. And I just thought, I'm sat at home, and I just thought, I don't want to get back into the whole rat race again of, corporate management and all this sort. And I just thought, there must be something I could do maybe online, or something to earn an income without, doing the normal 9-to-5 stuff.
Yeah.
So I just started looking online, and I come across your video, and it was crazy. I was just sat at the kitchen table. Wife went off to work, and I just followed your tutorial. It was about 4 hour long. It was literally how to start a website from scratch.
Yeah.
I think I took my credit card out and bought a domain for like $10 or something. Took out some HostGator hosting or something like that.
Sure, hopefully, thanks for that. I'm sure I earned a commission off that.
Yeah, you probably did. And that was it. Literally, I just started building a website. The wife got home about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and I said, have a look at this. And she said, what is it? I said, website. And she was like, Monty Python. Why do I want to look at that? I said, it's mine. It's my website. She's like, what do you mean it's your website? I said, I've just built it. She said, what? I said, in 4 hours, I've just built it. Well, it's probably more like 8 hours, but I just kept pausing it and then do a little bit of work, then press play, do a bit of work. Before I know it, I had a website, and within about 4 or 5 months, I just kept putting content on there. I didn't know what to do. We weren't doing any keyword research, nothing like that. It was just literally whatever came to mind about Monty Python, I just put on the site.
That was the first site. Someone's just asked, Mastermind, in fact, asked, when was this, Carl, just to put a date on it?
So it's about 2.5, 3, probably 3 years ago when I did the Monty Python. So yeah, about 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. About 3 years.
But the Monty Python site didn't quite make you the millions that you thought it might.
No. Things like there is a massive Monty Python site that is such a big authority might have had something to do with it.
Yeah.
And plus,
but it got you on. It got you on a certain road, didn't it? You thought, hang on, I can make websites.
It actually still earns me commissions today. In fact, I've had one today, which is weird because I let the domain expire. I didn't take out any more hosting on it. I basically I didn't know what we're doing. I let it elapse. Like I say, I was new to it. I didn't even know that you kind of had to, renew domains. I didn't have it on auto renew. And I think it come to that point where, it was only making a couple of pennies or a couple of cents, you know what I mean? So it came for renewal, and I just thought, I'll just leave it. I'll just start something fresh. And then that was it. I was hooked from then and just started going bigger and bigger, really.
So the next site you set up, which one was that?
Our Xmas Story, it was called.
Of course. How could I forget? And this one, I mean, again, if you knew what you knew now, you probably wouldn't have gone into that niche because it's your money or your life kind of niche. Yeah. But I remember looking at the site because you asked me to look at it a number of times, and you'd put a lot of effort and work into it.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, I mean, I worked on that day and night for about 6 months, and I mean, literally 7 days a week, 6-7 hours, as much as I could do. Morning, go to work, evening, work on it. Literally fall asleep at the laptop, wake up, do some more, go to work. It was that solid. And it did that for about 6-7 months. And that's when I was lucky enough then to win the Income School competition, who then came to my house. And I think I'd already started the fish keeping site by then, before I'd entered, the end of the competition. And it was quite some months already started. So I had that site going when they came. But yeah, they came to my house and just said, you've done a great job on the extra site, but just ditch it. And I was heartbroken. It was
devastating when you literally put blood, sweat, and tears into it.
Yeah, it wasn't so much financial cost on that one. There was no kind of financial cost involved. It was more because I was writing it all myself. It was just more, I looked at the competition and I thought, this is where you get it wrong. I looked at the competition and thought, they're doing it, so I must be able to. And that just isn't like that. Just because there's a successful site out there doesn't mean to say you can copy exactly what they're doing. And literally, I won't say I didn't copy it word for word or anything, but I just thought they're really successful. So this website could be really successful. But, I didn't know they were 7 years ahead of me. It was only when I reached out to them, kind of said, do you want to do a collaboration or something? And they were like, I don't think there's anything new you can come up with. And I was like, well, why? And they were like, we've been publishing one article a week for 7 years. And I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I can't come up with all.
Did Income School give you a specific reason as to why the site was never going to work? Was it because of the niche, or was it because there was just too much competition that was already way ahead?
at the time it was the niche. We wasn't in kind of the health niche and business niches wasn't that kind of restricted as they are now so much. At that time it wasn't. So they didn't say, it's a money or your life website, ditch it. It wasn't that. It was just the fact that they just said the niche. It wasn't a good enough niche for a small website to be in. It's kind of a something like MedicMD or something. The bigger sites, he said they can pick that kind of topic up. But for a small site to go for, they just said there's easier sites to make money from than in that niche.
Right. So you took that on board after you'd had a little cry, and so what happened to that site? I think you sold it, didn't you?
Sold it. Yeah, it's still up. I think it's still up and running. Yeah. I think it's doing fine. To be honest, I haven't checked on it in a while, but yeah, somebody bought it because, like I say, it was making income. It probably still is. It got traffic. So, anybody wanting to buy it and just sit on that income could do so. So I sold the site. I didn't want to. It was too good to shut down. It was it has a lot of potential, but it was a kind of niche and site that somebody needed to throw all the energy in all the time, and and because
you got a reasonable price for it, I guess, but you just maybe just covered your costs or cut your losses, whatever.
Yeah, if you broke it down per hour, I probably got like a penny an hour for the work I put in it. But I was happy for it to go to a new owner.
But this time, at this point, you're now you've got Fish Keeping Forever. The domain is registered, and you've started working on that one. And that's the site that Income School gave you some advice on, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So they came to my house and took a look at it and just said they thought I was going down the wrong path content-wise. So I was going to go for, my idea was, right, I'll do a care guide for like every fish that you could buy. That was my plan. I was thinking, how can you go wrong with that? There's thousands of fish. So I can have thousands of articles. And they was like, well, no, that's kind of not the niche market and the keywords, long tail keywords you want to be going for. You want to be going for things like, how much does a fish tank weigh and things like that. And I was going for, care guide for a guppy. So they said, you're kind of on the wrong track. So they kind of made me a spreadsheet with some ideas. We did some keyword research together. They gave me some ideas, give me some pointers. They revamped the site a little bit. So they did a new logo, put some branding to it, and gave it more of a kind of a structure. I was kind of just throwing articles at it and hoping something will stick and do well. And some of them were, but the majority wasn't. So I wasn't targeting my resources, my time and my money in the right places. So they just guided me with that. And to be honest, I'm really thankful that they did, because I could have gone on for years just throwing any kind of article at it and, spending years and years and going after the wrong things, so in the wrong direction. So
once you made that change and started targeting these keywords where people are typing in questions, that kind of thing, did that really kind of push the site forwards?
Yeah,
you did definitely see a change.
It did. I mean, I wouldn't say their approach was exactly perfect, because they were saying, going after these care guys, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Well, actually, 2 or 3 of them are one of my best articles ever, and they always brought in thousands of visitors a month. So, I could see what they said. Some of them, were too competitive, and I shouldn't have been going for them. But, I don't think my approach was really drastically wrong. But, with their guidance, I certainly got it on a better path. We started to see some organic traffic pretty quick.
Okay. So, those of you that wanted to go and take a look at the site, it's Fish Keeping Forever. And do you still own fish?
No, I don't.
Did you own fish when you started it?
Yeah, I used to be in the industry. So when I was between 18 and 19, I got a job in a fish keeping shop. And when I was 21, I made the manager of a fish keeping store. And then I became reasonably known in the industry in the UK. And when I was about 23, 24, I started traveling around doing conferences and trade shows and stuff. So and then at 25, I opened my own tropical fish shop. So I was experienced in the niche. So
that's good. You were able to talk confidently about freshwater and saltwater and things, pond and koi. Helped. I'm looking at this site right now. I'm just reading the top things. Okay, well let's get up to date then. How long were you running Fish Keeping Forever? I mean, you only got rid of it just a few weeks ago now.
I think between 2 and 2.5 years. So I think, yeah, 26, 27 months, something like that.
Okay. Quick question from Jim. He asks, because I was just looking at the logo now. Is that the logo and the branding that Income School did?
Yep.
Okay. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, Jim literally just sat there. So they both sat on the settee. Ricky got on with keyword research. Jim just sat there and did that logo within about half an hour, and just literally, they are workaholics. I expected them to come to my house, and I had this plan. I had a table booked in a pub round the corner, and I expected them to come and do a couple of hours, and then we'd nip off to the pub and have a few drinks, then come back. And they just sat on the settee from about 9 a.m. and didn't leave till about 7 p.m. They didn't have anything to eat. I kept making them cups of tea. They just wanted water, and they're not going to drink tea,
are they?
They were not tea drinkers. I mean, I should have kicked them out of the house.
You should have, really. Yeah. I mean, but it seems that only us weird Brits, and especially you Yorkshiremen, we're into our tea more than the Americans. Okay. What are they really like? I mean, I've got to ask you, what are Ricky and Jim actually like? I mean, because they come across well in their videos, and is that how they are in real life?
They're really nice people. Yeah, we went afterwards to like a meetup. There was about 30 people from the UK that was in their group, and we all met up in a restaurant late at night. And they're really friendly. They're really open. The workaholics, I'd say. Jim is the more business focused, from what I could tell. Jim is head down, business, and Ricky's a little bit more like jokey and playful. But at that time when they did a filming in my house, just kind of filmed the experience, and there wasn't that comfortable in front of the camera then. Which, if you look at them now, Ricky was very kind of a little bit shy, a little bit nervous, and Jim was like, right, no, do that again, and Ricky was a little bit, like that. So
well,
it's
that's interesting. But I mean, we all start out like that, don't we, in front of the camera? We all feel a bit nervous and a bit on edge in front of the camera. So you couldn't get them up the pub for a beer? Do they? I bet they don't even drink, do they?
Probably not. It'll be
probably not.
Decaffeinated water.
Yeah, good old corporation pop. Good, Michelle's here. I just want to say to Michelle, in fact, Michelle, you get a little horn. Because you loaded up with WP Eagle merch last night. The order was there when I came in this morning. It is on its way to you once it's been printed and fulfilled. Hopefully it gets all the way around the world. And I'd love to see a photo when you receive your T-shirts. And I can't remember, was it a mug as well? Some other bits and bobs. But thank you very much for that merch order. By the way, if you want your WP Eagle merch, you can get it over at wpeagle.com. Okay. Let's just do a couple of questions and then we'll carry on with this fish keeping story, because it's very interesting. And I think it's inspiring for everyone who's within my community that... sorry, the horn was too low. I apologise. My levels are all wrong. I don't want to blow anyone's head off. I think it's inspiring for everyone in the community that... you are an example that you can watch some videos on YouTube, do some stuff, and make a site that's successful.
You can do it. Yeah.
So there was a question. I'm pretty sure I saw a question. Did Income School? This is from Jason. Did Income School make you put the fish keeping site more into silos and categories?
No.
No, didn't mention that.
They didn't really. They did keyword topic. So they would say they have a spreadsheet and there was like, let's think of every topic that you can, and let's then see how many articles we can get for that topic.
Okay.
And that gives us the total number of articles that the website could possibly have. So, if there was 10 topics and it was 1,000 articles per topic, then that's your life of the website. That's as big as it could go. So, but they didn't actually structure it and put it into silos.
Okay, that's interesting. Kevin asks, are you currently a member of Project 24? I think you are, because we were talking about this a moment ago.
Yeah, I still am. I don't go in there as much as I probably should, but I do comment in there and talk to people. People reach out to me from that community as well. So, yeah, I am.
Okay, good.
Honorary member.
Honorary member, of course, yeah. Charles says, Carl, I'm an active user in your Discord. I didn't even know you had a Discord. Why aren't I in that?
We've got about 180 people in it. It's a big one.
Wow.
I haven't
I'll
got
take.
no emojis though, not like you. So
No, okay. Well, I want to link to that. Although I don't sit in Discord as much as I probably should. But anyway, Charles
my
says he.
stepson wanted to set it up, and he kind of runs it and manages it, and it's actually been really, really good. I'm pleased he set it up. At first, I was like, I'm not, no more social media, no. And he set it up, and it's done really, really well. I'm actually
Okay, well, I'd like a link to that sometime.
Yeah, I'll send it.
Or in fact, someone put a link to that in the chat. Maybe Helen can do that. I'm sure she's in there.
It's in my description of all my videos.
All right, we'll find that. Anyway, Charles says, Carl, he's an active user in your Discord. He says, your fish care guides really spoke to me. The ones that you said that Income School said were no good, because he's doing something similar in his niche. He finds that the competition is competitive for my keywords, but I expect long-term traffic growth when my site gains authority. Did your fish care guides do better as your site gained authority?
Yes, they did. The trouble is with them, they've got to organically grow for long-term positions. So with like an article that is a response post where you can answer a question, you can get the snippets, you can get featured snippets, you can get that kind of help to jump in the rankings quicker. Whereas with something like a fish guide, you're not kind of answering anything. You're just giving a general overview of that fish. So you have to outrank Wikipedia and Spruce Pets and things like that. So it takes a lot longer to climb up the rankings, but when you do get them up on page one and high up, they tend to stick for longer. And also, like I say, there is one big site out there, and I'll give him credit. He's got one of the most profitable websites I've ever seen. It makes a lot of money. Good on him. It's about 6 or 7 years old, and it was getting 1 million page views a month in the same niche. So, good luck to him. He's doing really well. But he holds the authority on a lot of posts, so you are trying to beat him.
Yeah, I guess there's always going to be those sites in whatever niche. Well, not every niche, because some niches they don't have them, and that makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, you need to look at the page authority as well. So not just because he's got a really good site authority doesn't mean to say you can't beat him on certain care guides. So if he's got a certain care guide that's not got a lot of backlinks to it, and it's not got a lot of authority, you can still beat him. And I was beating him on a lot of them, but he just has a lot of content out that's been out there for a while.
Okay. Justin asks, Carl, would there be a website that would be a passion project that you wouldn't sell?
No.
I mean, I think you're doing sites just for the money, aren't you? There isn't any passion projects.
Yeah, well, I'm in this. Yeah, I'm in it to make money. It's enjoyable. I want a better, more free lifestyle. So I want to be able to work the hours that I want. I want to not have to answer to a boss. But no, this is what I was saying earlier. Now, I think we get too clingy and passionate about websites, and you should be passionate about them. But at the end of the day, are you building it as a hobby for just something to do, or are you doing it to make money?
Yeah, or is it a business asset and something that you can sell on or whatever?
Yeah, if I want something to do to have fun, I go play golf.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah. Maybe the Monty Python might have been a passion project if you're really into Monty Python, I suppose. So speaking of income, Masterminders asked, so in 3 years were you able to make a full-time income? Let's finish off the fish keeping story. So how long did it take before the money started to look pretty reasonable?
Only about say a year. It was doing around $1,000 after about a year. And then it was slow slog to get it up and up and up. But yeah, it kind of was doing really, really good. And then we got hit by the Maycore update, which knocked a bit of traffic off. But by then I'd got ads on it with Mediavine, and the ad revenues were doing really good. And the page views were still quite strong, 40 to 50,000.
Yeah, wow.
That was the bulk of the income. I didn't really push for products or affiliates. It was all really traffic. So the bulk of the money came from ad revenue, and that stayed strong. And one thing the new owner could do is go after products. So it took about a year to get it up to about between $700 and $1,000, and it stayed pretty consistent. Then even after the Maycore update, where we lost a bit of traffic, it still kind of held its own due to the ad revenue.
Yeah, that's great. And in terms of ad partners, I know you worked with Iiiiiiiinnn, and I think you ended up with Mediavine, was it?
Yes, I've got sites with Iiiiiiiinnn, and I've got sites with Mediavine as well. I've not tried AdThrive yet because you need 100,000 page views. But yeah, at Mediavine, I went with them as soon as it hit 25,000 page views, which was the threshold back then. I switched it up to Mediavine, and it was fantastic. It was a superb transfer straight over to them, and revenue never kind of stopped climbing. It was good. If the traffic came, the revenue came. It was just simple as that. Get the traffic and got the money. It was fine. Didn't have to worry about selling anything. It's just simply getting traffic.
Okay, so you got to a point, and I think it was just last month, where you decided that you wanted to sell it.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite go to plan. Tell us what happened.
So I decided to sell it basically because I've got a big project on the go. I call it my mega website. So I've got that on the go, needed the funds to do that. I wanted to start off 2021 with a real business plan in place for growing that website and some others. And I needed the funds to do it. So I decided to sell it. And I thought, well, I'll sell it with Empire Flippers. You know, they're one of the biggest, well-known ones.
Yeah.
And I thought I'll document the journey. And that's what I plan to do, document every single stage of the journey selling it. I don't think anybody's done that on YouTube, actually, you know, built a site, sold it, and showed you the whole process right up to kind of transferring the domain over. So that's what I wanted to do. Got in touch with them. It was all going well. Yep, here's a valuation. I was blown away by the valuation. The process was simple, and then, you know, gave me some more forms and said, right, you fill these in. So you had to prove revenue, and they are very, very strict. So it was
I've gone through the process as well, and yeah,
it's a long process, but I'm actually glad it was, because if anybody's thinking of buying a website from there, and including me, if I ever buy one from there, I know how strict they are. So if you see some details on Empire Flipper, you can pretty much guarantee it's accurate. So I went through all that process, and it was looking good, and I thought it was going up for sale on the Monday. So I put a video out saying, you know, check it out on Monday.
It's
on
up for
Empire
sale,
Flippers. And then literally next day I got a letter saying, we've got a problem. We can't sell your site. And I was like, why? They said, because it's with Mediavine. And I said, yeah. And they said, well, Mediavine, you need 50,000 page views now. I was like, right, yeah, but it's on Mediavine. It earns, you know, a lot of money with Mediavine. What do you mean they won't keep it? He said, well, every time you sell a website, the new owner has to apply for a new account. And to get a new account with Mediavine, you got to have 50,000 page views. And you got to have that consistently. And unfortunately, it dropped just below the 50,000 mark. So they said a new owner would have to reapply. You haven't got enough traffic, so they won't get on with Mediavine. So therefore, we can't sell your website. I was blown away. I was like, well, you know, why didn't you tell me that 2 weeks ago? You know,
yeah, I had a similar experience where I thought I was good to go, and then they checked everything and said, oh, actually, no, it's not quite right. I'm afraid not.
Yeah. So the option would have been to the option was simple. Give Mediavine 30 days notice, take it off of Mediavine, put it on Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiirun it on Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiil
But instead, something else happened, didn't it?
Yeah, a viewer reached out to me. Gentleman, I won't give his name away, I promised I wouldn't. Buys a lot of sites. He's a very successful affiliate marketer. He owns a big portfolio. And I mean, we are talking big, you know, sort of 30 plus big sites. Yeah. And he said, I'll buy it from you. And I was like, okay.
So he wasn't worried about the Mediavine situation.
He's going to move it to Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiii and the way he sets it up. So he's going to move it to Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiii site over for when that lapses, and he's going to put Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiiii
'Cause you did escrow and got the money, and I think Phil helped you transfer it over, didn't he?
Didn't do escrow. He literally just paid cash in my bank.
Okay, perfect. He had obviously trusted you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's well known. I don't personally know him, but there's other affiliate marketers that are on YouTube.
But anyway, the risk is in with him. He sends you the money, and it's then up to you whether you send him the site.
Yeah, I was like, no, you don't do things like that. I won't do that to anybody. He's like, no, it's fine. No, I'll just pay it. I'll buy it. He said, you've documented it for a year.
He could see that you're a trustworthy Yorkshire lad. You're not going to stitch him up or anything, are you?
Well, That's it. If I don't send it, it'll steal my ferrets or something. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. So you won't want to risk that. Okay, let's go for a few questions. Actually, one more question from me. So the total, was it about 24 grand you got for it?
Yeah. So originally Empire Flipper valued it at 28,000, but obviously they have their commissions and stuff to pay. So if you minus all their commissions, it was 23,000. So he said, "What do you want for it?" I said, 23,000.
That's in dollars, yeah.
Yeah. So £17,500 it transferred to.
Okay, but I mean, over its life, it obviously generated you income as well. I mean, you were in profit at the point of selling it, weren't you?
Yeah, I've just been working that out. So if you was to build a site today and add the same amount of content, and you outsourced all that content and the hosting and everything like that, it totals 17,600. It would have cost for that site. Right. Then you got to think the income I've had over the last 2.5 years is over, I think it's over $18,000 over the last 2.5 years from the income from it, plus the sale of the site. So it works out around $25,000 profit in 2.5 years. Yeah. Yeah,
and that's your first site. I mean, not bad. Well, your first proper site.
It's $800 a month profit from one site.
Okay, perfect.
Over 2.5 years.
So, after you do, I mean, when you don't work full time now, do you?
No, so I've been, I reduced my hours to part-time some 4 or 5 months ago, and with the intention of always going full-time. To be honest, everybody asked me this. I could have gone full-time 7 or 8 months ago, but I work in a supermarket, and obviously everybody can imagine what supermarket environment's like through COVID with the lockdowns and the restrictions. We're a big home shopping supermarket where we deliver food to people's doors. So we've had to keep going through COVID. We've had a lot of colleagues and managers go off sick. So I said I'd just stay through the whole kind of pandemic, just see them through the pandemic.
You're too kind to these multinational corporations.
So, they've been good to me. My boss there, he won't be watching this. He definitely won't.
You won't.
But, he has been.
He's a lovely guy.
He is, yeah.
So when are you actually going to knock it on the head for good?
January the 2nd. I've said to them January the 2nd. They're struggling for manager cover on a Sunday. I said, do you know what? Through January, I'll do Sunday for you, and then in February, 100% full time.
I'm out of here. Perfect.
Yeah. And like I say, financially, I could have been doing it, several months ago, but COVID and situation, all that. So.
And you're just too nice. That's the trouble there. That's the trouble. Let's go to a few questions and then we'll carry on our chat. MMK Ventures, good to see you. Carl, do you have any experience or knowledge on how Mediavine deals with it when a site was easily over the 50k requirement and for several months after the change, but has now dipped below to about 30 to 40k a month?
So if you're already with Mediavine, it doesn't matter. There's nothing will happen. Your site could drop down to 10,000 a month, and they'll still pay you. They don't kick you out because you've dropped below 50,000. It's only if you come to sell that site, you'll need to get the traffic back over 50,000.
Yeah, I was talking to Morton. I think I was definitely talking to Morton earlier because I put a video up. Hopefully, you guys all saw it. And was Morton at the meetup, by the way, the Income School one?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, because he mentioned. I think you mentioned having a meetup with you sometime.
Well, they do meetups in America a lot more than they do the UK.
No, I'm sure he said he came to York, which would have been to see you, that one. Maybe you didn't know who he was.
I don't remember him.
Oh, right. I think, he definitely said that. Anyway, I think
there's a few people in the chat tonight that was at the meeting. Yeah. So,
oh, okay. Yeah. I think, he was saying, I think he uses AdThrive, maybe. And yeah, when he sold his site, they literally just transferred all the history and everything from his account over to the new owner's account, and it was seamless and job done.
Which is exactly what I expected Mediavine to do. Mediavine is a fantastic company. Honest, I've never seen such a community. And you say to them, I don't think I'm getting enough ad revenue from my website, and they send you this 10-page site audit within hours. It's incredible.
Oh, right, do this, do that, do this, and you'll
Yeah, and I've never ever had any problem with the installation of the ads on the site. They do it all for you. They don't hold your hand. They just literally say, give me a URL, and then within like a day or two, all your ads are done, and that's it. They take care of everything. So it is a fantastic company. But I didn't know this change in their policy of 25,000 to 50,000 would affect a site that was already with them. I thought new sites, fair enough, but it's already with them. So I don't know. I can't see it being a big deal. But it breaks their terms and conditions apparently.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So Stamp Sound is in the chat. Do you know Stamp?
Yeah, so he said I can tell this. So I also sold another site last week, a smaller site, and Paul is a member of Income Skill. He was at the meeting.
And he also says that Morton was there, and he spoke to him about his sewing machine site. So you just didn't remember him? How rude!
Wow, yeah. Morton wasn't as well known then at the time. So
no, he said he was very quiet. So
I've got some
photos hanging in the corner.
Of the events. I'll have to have a look.
Yeah,
wow. I mean, I didn't know Morton at the time. I mean,
no.
To be fair, I've only known him about 6 months anyway, so I wouldn't have known who he was.
No. He's only showed up on the radar recently, hasn't he? So.
So yeah, so Paul's bought one of my smaller websites just the other day, so he saw that and wanted to build a new website, and he took that one from me as well.
Okay, perfect.
It wasn't a big one, but a few $1,000s.
Well, there's a couple of things that people have been asking questions about. There was one right at the top that I've missed. I can't remember who asked it. It may have been Justin. He wants a bit more information about this big site that you're working on, and because you've kept it all very close to your chest. Is there anything? I mean, can you let us know maybe what kind of niche we're talking about, or?
No.
No, it's you're doing a dug on us. You're doing a dug on us. You can't mention. You can't say anything.
The reason why is because you'll know, and a lot of the viewers know. I've had both of my websites have been copied. So fish keeping site got copied word for word, article for article, word for word. I managed to get that site shut down, and then literally another 2 sites popped up, pretty much identical. Again, it's just. The images are the same, the titles are the same, the topics are the same. It's just the word in the content's different. So, there's not a lot you can do about that. So, this site is going to be a lot of money invested in it, and it's kind of going to be my future site. So, it's one that I plan to sell, to hopefully retire on. So, yeah, for once, I'm going to kind of keep this one. I am going to share data, and I will share as much as I can. I'm just not going to reveal the niche. It is a huge niche. Hence the reason I call it a mega site. It's going to need a lot of content. I have done a video about it where literally I have a business plan in place for it, and that you can see all the details on there. But the seed keyword is huge. So
wow.
The only way I can put it into some sort of context is if I said sport, and it isn't sport, but if I said sport would be the seed keyword, and that's as big as the keyword I'm going after. Then obviously a niche site within sports might be, rugby.
Yeah, I mean, there's 100 different sports probably I can think of. Well, I can't think of 100, but I can think of at least 5. But there is a lot of sports, and each one exactly. There is many topics around that.
Yeah. So this keyword that I'm going for doesn't have a lot of searches per month just for the keyword, which is really strange, and the reason why I want to go for it. But there's lots of variations of this seed keyword. So let's say it was sport, and let's say sport gets 1 million searches a month, right? Then you'd have indoor sport, that might get 1 million. Then you've got outdoor sports, then you might get extreme sports. So all them keywords are all adding up, and it's the same within this niche that I'm going for. The main seed keyword, surprisingly, doesn't get like 20 million searches a month. It only gets 200,000, but there's lots of variations of that. And the people that are going after that keyword are not going after them variations. They're only going after that one little one.
So you're going out, well, okay. And how long have you had this site up running?
The new one, the mega site?
Yeah.
I've had the domain for about 6 months now. So there's still no content on it. It's all written. Well, it's not. I won't say it's not all written. It's going to be published in the next week or two. And it's going to be published with 100 articles to start. So you
wanted to lump a whole load on just to launch it with a big bang, as it were.
Yeah, because I wanted to try something different. Everybody kind of always asks me the question, how much content should you put on a new site? And I always say, well, publish as much as you can, 1 or 2 a week and stuff like that. And I've always kind of wondered, how would it affect a site if you had a slightly aged domain, 5-6 months, sort of technically coming out the sandbox, and then you throw like 100 articles at it? What's the effect of that?
Yeah.
So,
well,
and
interesting.
to show my community.
I was talking to niche website builders today, and they were saying that actually, in their experience, it is better if you can to launch a site with as much content. So a big lump of like 50 articles, 100 articles, like you're doing, that has a much more of an effect, because you basically then you've got, if you are in a sandbox or whatever, though they generally aren't because they use expired domains, it just gives you that kind of head start in terms of being indexed quickly, and you've got more chance of those articles gaining traction a lot quicker. So yeah, I think your approach will be good.
I think with internal linking as well, I think the difficulty is when you start a new site, you're only putting one article, let's say a week on it. It's difficult to internally link the articles because you've not got nothing to link to. So if you launch a site and you've got 100 articles and they're all really nicely interlinked and they're all in nice silos.
Yeah, you can do a nice structure right from day one, can't you?
Yeah, rather than having to do that structure a year down the line when you've got enough content to build a structure.
Yeah. Koo thinks he knows what it is. You're going to be doing cars. You've already got the roof box silo sorted.
Nope, not cars.
Okay. Yeah, bring in the questions. I am looking at the questions whenever we get a moment. Stamp asked whether he could share the site that you sold to him within the chat. I guess it's up to him, really, isn't it now?
Yeah, I think he wants to. Yeah, if he wants to post it, he can do. Yeah.
If you want to share, that's fine. I mean, Stamp, if you want to, you can come on and talk to us. That's fun.
Paul's a YouTuber.
Is he? What's his channel?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's still got it. Mower Man. I think it was Mower Man. Paul will tell you in the chat. He had lawnmower. He had 10,000 subs when I last looked.
15,000. Yeah.
There you go. See, it's small world, isn't it? So Paul was at the Income School meetup, and when we kind of left, I was like, right, I'm going home. I ain't got far to travel. He said, neither have I. I was like, where do you live? He's like, York. I was like, oh, okay. And then he told me where he lived. It's literally lives on the next street.
Wow. Small world, isn't it?
Yeah. I've also employed a writer that wrote for me for around a year. And I was always transferring the money to and paying by PayPal and all that long distance emails. And she after about a year, she reached out to me one day and said, do you live in so-and-so village? I said, yeah. She said, so do I. I was like, how do you know that? She said, I saw your Facebook picture. I was like, for a year, you've lived like 100 yards down the street. And
yeah, that's weird. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Mastermind says to Helen, he loves the dog site. The layout is welcoming, articles are well written, and it's easy to browse. Images are very pleasing. How much traffic are you getting? If you could share. I know that you have been helping Helen with that site. Which is it? The old Bow Wow Tech we're talking about there?
It is. Yeah. Helen's done the work. Helen's put in the hours on it. She's done really, really good. She's very methodical with her content. It is excellent content. I'm a bit rushed sometimes to publish stuff. Helen won't. She'll proofread it 20 times before she publishes it. So it is good content. Yeah, she does really good.
Question here. What do you guys think about the new Google Consult feature, the new crawling report? How can we use it? I've not even seen that. What is that? Let's have a look.
I just started looking at all mine. It's complex.
Oh, right. What is it? Let's see if we can have a look at it. I'm going to bring it up now. While I'm doing that, a little while ago, you launched a new service, Keyword Care. There was a question I saw a moment ago. I can't find it right now, but they asked, when are you going to be accepting new orders?
I get asked that all the time. Somebody said to me, it's down more than it is working. And they're right. It is. There's no automation on that system whatsoever. In fact, I'm trying to figure a way out of putting some sort of management or automation on it, because it is literally me doing the keywords. So when somebody buys a keyword service, it is me sat at the computer like for a whole day trying to find you some keywords that will rank. And it does really well. And I can only do so many in a month, obviously, So I normally accept between 10 and 20 orders a month, and it sells out within about 2 days.
Yeah.
So it's, So if I can find some way of streamlining the process, I will do. But at the minute, I don't have one. So as soon as I feel like I'm getting a bit overwhelmed with it all, I shut the service down.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you were talking about this with me that the thing is, it's not quite what you want to do, is because it's selling time again for money, which is not really where we're trying to get to with the with our websites.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fantastic service. I've tried you out. I did a video on it a while ago when you first launched, and you delivered some fantastic keywords for best roof box, which are ranking, and it was all good content.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless, and I'm sure you can scale it if you found the right people to do the work, and you could train them and show them exactly the processes that you're going through to find the keywords. You could scale it, but that's a whole other business, isn't it? And
well, yeah, I mean, I thought about actually selling that, service that as a business, but then everybody I approach says, you're selling yourself. It's you. You are the business. You're known for doing the keyword research. It's you. If they wanted to buy random keywords, they'd just go on Fiverr or something. So it's difficult kind of to, number one, manage it, and number two, sell it. So I just basically do as much as I can. I am revamping my own websites. I am launching carlbroadbent.com anytime now, and it's basically similar to your main website. Just to basically have a platform, a base for me. I'm not really going to blog in it too much, but all my videos will be in there, and any services that I have will be in there. And I'm going to try and streamline it and do it a little bit better than it is, because at the minute it's just literally, I'll take a load of orders, and when I've got enough, I shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a great business, and it's a service that a lot of people want. I think there's a lot of services that you could sell in our space, services to affiliate marketers, like keyword research, like article creation, website creation, all that kind of stuff.
Editors are one of the most sought after things, people that you could get. If anybody in the chat can, go to a WordPress page, basically just copy and paste from a Word document, put it on a page, format it, add images, add links, and charge you per post. They would make a real killing on that, because it is so hard to get somebody who can format an article nicely and that can do as many as you want or in the time frame that you want. That is a great service.
My editor might have a bit of bandwidth. I'm sure I can introduce you. Matt, I don't know if you use Mac, do you?
I don't know you have somebody does it, but I've not met him. I do.
No, he's really good. I mean, he does exactly that. I send him over the article when it comes from my writer, and he does all the styling and everything on Best Roof Box. So I know I use Elementor for my post, which I know a lot of people go, oh, why are you using a page builder? But I like my post to look quite nice. He adds the AAWP. He finds that other images and stuff like that. Use nice formatting, bullet points, and it's perfect. It's just what you want. I mean,
that's great. That is like the dream scenario of finding somebody who can do that for you. That is really good.
Yeah. Steve asks, on the subject of photos, where do you source yours? As after Alex's last video, I think I may be breaking some T&Cs. I guess you're referring to my video on how to get yourself banned or kicked out the Amazon Associates program. Well, you can start with photos. Where do you get your photos from?
Canva Pro and Adobe Stock.
Yeah. I found that the ones in Canva Pro, they're the same ones that you'll find on iStock and sometimes Adobe as well. I like Adobe because I've already got the Adobe suite and it's part of that anyway.
Yeah, a trick for Canva Pro is when you search something. Let's say you search for white rabbit, then don't take the first kind of page of white rabbits that you see, because all those images will have been used by every single website in the world.
Many times.
Scroll right down to the bottom and work your way from the bottom up, because those images have got far less used. So you'll get more original ones right at the bottom.
What about product? I guess Steve is maybe talking about product photos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Steve, with the product photos, I either do use the site Stripe or I use AAWP, because you can then pull an image down with the API, which is generally better. Or I just find it on the internet, but then I make sure that I'm not linking to it with my Amazon affiliate links. That last one, you use at your own risk, but I've been okay with it so far. Product photos are tricky.
Amalink Pro is good. Amalink Pro is really good for products because it pulls all the images that the manufacturers uploaded onto Amazon. So normally with the site Stripe, you just get the image that it wants you to put up to your site. But if you use Amalink Pro, you can select any of those images. So you can use, how some products, they'll upload 30 images, Some of it even images of the packaging and the back of the box and things like that. So if you use AmberLink Pro, you can actually use all those images as well, rather than just the one it wants you to.
Good tip. Another good tip here from Best Skateboards Club is I usually use Canva Pro, but I add my own touch to it using Photoshop, which is great. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Photoshop. You could just add some text to it, or you could add a filter, that kind of thing. You can make stock photos not look as stocky as they might do. A little tip from Dana: when she's on stock websites, she always sorts by the newest first, so that you're getting the fresher images. But you do seem to even with the thumbnails, I know that a lot of people use Canva to create their YouTube thumbnails, and there's that colourful background. It's kind of like got triangles. It's on every single thumbnail. Never mind. You use it a lot as well, Carl. I know you do.
I did, but my son now does my thumbnails. He's a right little businessman now, so I get charged £2 per thumbnail, and he does some really good ones. Yeah,
he's gonna be. I mean, that's a living. That is thumbnails.
He's doing all right. Yeah, he's doing all right. Well, I've got I don't know 100 videos or something on the channel now, so he's earned some good money.
Perfect. Jason asks, Carl, I'm getting a little confused with the amount of choice of keyword tools. If you had to choose just the one to use with the Google Alphabet Soup method, what would it be?
Ooh, keywords everywhere.
Yeah, that's all you need, because it kind of complements your Google Alphabet Soup, because it works within Google.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people now. I mean, I'm starting to shy away from using a lot of the tools now. I mean, unless you could pay for Ahrefs and you're really experienced and stuff to drill down in that.
Do you have an Ahrefs account now?
I don't know. No, I still don't use it at the minute.
You can afford one now.
I think if you get a niche that's pretty new to you, you're always going to think of a lot of articles to write at the beginning. I don't think you need them tools when you start to run out of kind of ideas, and then you really need to dig around and search, and that's when you need Ahrefs.
There was a question from Moaman from Stamp, and I can't see it. I was going to put it up on the screen, but I can't find it. He was basically asking, do you link? Here we go. Do you do much interlinking between your articles?
Yes. Yeah, I think interlinking is underrated. I think it's a really key focus at the minute, and I think we know Google's having so much issues with the crawl budget and trying to do new things with it. So I think the easier it is for it to crawl through your structure of your site, the better. And interlinking there's no better way of doing that.
And are you very strict on your silos? Are you just linking within the same category, or do you link out to other categories as well?
I am on the Mega website. That is very, very structured. Hence the reason it took 6 months to actually get it to this point, because we've just been making sure that I don't want to mess it up. I'm going to put so much content on it. It will be a nightmare in a year to try and sort it out. So I've spent so much time with Phil. Yeah, Phil over at spiderweb.co.uk. He's been building it for me, and we spent so much time getting this right. Because if we're uploading 100 articles in one batch, they've got to be in the right places. It's got to be done proper. So I do on that site. On the other site, not so much. As long as it's within the same topic. So the fish keeping site, if it was about pond fish, it would all link to ponds and koi and goldfish, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Rather than linking to a fish tank for saltwater fish. So I wasn't so strict on those sites. And actually, my best site that's doing really good, that's not got a fantastic structure to it, but I find that the menus and silos that I have created are doing better, definitely.
Perfect. Hello, Glenn. I didn't see you in there, although I've just put your comment up, but that's not going to work because it's got emojis in it. Someone said, Mr. Beast, who's obviously a big YouTuber, someone on his channel, Jim, said that there is a huge demand for thumbnail makers.
Yeah, I can see that.
So there you go. Your son's got a career.
He's got a Fiverr gig going.
Yeah, get the Fiverr gig going. Excellent Tech, good to see you. Brave Enough says, she watched your report for your coffee blog. You have an awesome looking site. Tosh asks, how many articles would you link from, how many articles would you link to from one post?
So internally linking from one post.
Yeah.
If it was 1,000 words, I'd want 3 or 4 interlinks on 1,000 words. So
Yeah, but only linking to each post once, I guess.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going through the chat. Thank you all for your questions and just hanging out with us. I know that it was a busy night for streaming tonight. Someone just mentioned that in the chat. Yeah, Kieran, because I know Adrian was on, and Doug was streaming. He had a guest on. Amelia was on with Morton. So it's been a busy night for streaming. I think Wednesday is the new streaming night, although obviously I will be streaming back on Tuesday next week. And of course, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow as well. I was thinking that maybe we could do some article writing, publishing thing tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Although my Best Read book still has blue buttons on some browsers. I don't know what's going on with that. I've asked both Elementor and Iiiiiiiiiiiiiiic to help me with that, so hopefully get an answer. The Mastermind asks, what would be the best, most straightforward way to find a niche on Amazon? Oh, if only it was straightforward.
Well, best one straightforward. Something
Just straightforward. Just tell us in one word, what do you need to do to find the best niche on Amazon? What's the secret?
Go for high price ticket items. There you go.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's not that easy to find a niche. It's the biggest question. I'm actually working on my new how to find a niche for 2021 video. It's not easy. It's a lot of things. It's looking at Amazon. It's looking on Google. It's drawing on your own experiences and likes. It's also thinking about, as Morton mentioned today, which I hadn't really thought about, who do you know that might be an expert in a particular field that you could draw on? There's just so many things. I mean, you can use a spreadsheet or whatever to document all these things and then score it up, and that might help you decide. But there isn't like a black and white rule to choosing a niche. Looking at the commission rates, if you're going to go for Amazon, looking at commission rates is also a good place to start, because that will at least narrow down a few categories.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going for Amazon, I do really consider the price tag now. I don't want to build a website that's focusing on $10 pet food
on books or something. Yeah, on any low value, it needs to be over $100 really if you want to.
Look at price tag.
Yeah, you got to look at if you're going to go for Amazon. But yeah, just draw on lots of things, and you'll know when you've found a niche. I've decided I'm going to start a content site rather than an Amazon site. I'm going to do this one on the private for a little while, because I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing with it just yet. So I'm going to build it and see. But I just stumbled across a niche. I don't even know how I stumbled across it this morning. I was thinking of a bit like you. I wanted a niche where there could be lots of content, lots of question content that I could write articles about and obviously monetize with advertising. I was thinking of cleaning to start with, because we've got a puppy at the moment. There's quite a lot of things that need cleaning up, as you can imagine. And then you'd go into Google and there's loads of searches, how to clean this with that, how to clean this and that. But it was far too competitive. And that kind of took me down a thing. And it's just kind of, I think when you're going to find a niche, you just need to go on a journey through Google, through Amazon or whatever, and you'll just come across ideas. And
I think like you said, knowing somebody that's in that kind of industry or in that sector, so you can get images and get original content and stuff like that is important. I was talking to my boss the other day about websites. He's now really interested in them suddenly, and he said the same thing. He just bought a really expensive product. And he just said, it was a real nightmare trying to find out how to install it and how high up it should be, and does it have to be an engineer that fits it? And he said it was really hard to find somewhere. And it was like, okay, there's an idea. So and it's an expensive product. It's an expensive product. It's popular worldwide. And I just thought, well, that's how you think of a niche. And he was like, is that a good niche?
Yeah, often you stumble across a niche. Once you've got the mindset about niche and niche websites. A bit like the roof box. I was looking to buy a roof box and I did a search for my make and model of car, and there was just no content around it. And I just thought, hang on, there might be something to this. That's probably all the best.
I think when you sit at a computer for hours trying to find a niche, it just doesn't happen. You're
trying to force it, yeah.
Yeah,
and then when you're in the shower the next morning, ding,
that might work. Exactly. Yeah.
How did you come up with a niche for your new mega site? How did that come to you?
Again, I think I was just searching for something that I was interested in doing, and couldn't really find much information on it. So I was like, there must be a website around this, and I searched and I found 2 websites that are getting really good traffic, but they have no form of monetization on them at all. And I still to this day don't know. Well, I've got an idea why they've done it, and I just couldn't see why they would produce a website and not get money from it when they're getting so much traffic. So I thought, well, if I can get the same but monetize it better than them, that's the way I should go. And when I look into it, I think it's because these websites have been created as a display. I think they're media companies, and it's like, this is what we can do for you. This is the kind of site we can build. So I think it's kind of their display model.
They don't want to plaster it with ads and make it look untidy.
Yeah, I think it's like it's an advertisement for their company. So
fair enough.
And that shows to me a bit of weakness there. So
they're not
bothered about growing it. They just want it to look pretty.
Yeah. Jason says, you mentioned on a recent video, Carl, that you're building a starter site that you're going to sell, to a viewer. Can you reveal the niche of that site yet?
Yeah. So I mentioned to you before the stream, like say that, I got asked by a lot of people, they were a bit upset that I sold the fish keeping site without kind of offering it to the general public. So a couple of people reached out to me and said, would you sell one of your start sites? And Paul in the chat, as we know, has just bought one. I'd been buying a few domains, and what I've been doing is letting them age a little bit, putting some content on them, and then sitting them aside, so that in 2021 I had some sites to work on. So I have a site, and I'm actually prepared to sell it to any of the viewers, your subscribers, my subscribers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch it on Cyber Monday. So what I'm going to do is, on my YouTube channel, under my community tab, I'll leave a link to the site, and it's going to be 5 p.m. on Cyber Monday, UK time.
Yeah.
And I'll leave the link. You click that, and it'll send you over to the website, and you'll be able to see what it is. I can tell you it's in the toy niche.
Toys? Okay, well, that could be good for Christmas.
It's in the toy niche. It is quite a good all-round seasonal niche. It is very specific, so I won't give away that niche. We'll add a little bit of excitement to it. It's about 6 months old. It's got an aged domain, 6 months old, so it's hopefully coming out of that sandbox. It's got around 16 articles on it. They're really well written articles by my best writer. It's got about 20,000 words on it, and I'm going to let the site go for $800, which is basically
the cost. It's a steal. It's a bargain.
It's basically what it cost me to get it where it is now. So I just thought, I just wanted to do something for Cyber Monday because everybody's Black Friday. And
do Cyber Monday. By the way, you'll find a link to Carl's channel in the description of this stream. But if you do a search for Carl Broadbent, you'll find him.
Yeah, and like I say, I'll post it in my community tab on Monday, so you'll get to see it firsthand. And literally, when you go on the site, there's a little pop-up will come up saying for sale. Just put your email address in, and you go straight over to all the details. You get to see everything on it, and then it's literally the first one who wants to buy it can buy it.
Perfect. So we've got a few other special guests in the chat at the moment. We've got Doug made an appearance. Someone mentions that Doug might have been on the homebrew, as he had a keyword idea, which is what's the best cheese for lactose intolerant bulls. I'm sure that cows don't eat cheese. I don't know. And Hasta La Vista Boss, I guess your stream is finished. How did it go? I heard there was a few technical problems. And I can sympathise with you there. I know what that's like.
Adrian is so brave to stream to like multiple platforms, multiple guests at the same time. And he just battles through no matter what.
It's cheddar. Was that a joke, Doug? I don't know. Or Swiss. So there was a few other questions that we're going to go through. I know that we've been going for an hour and it's getting late. Do you need to be anywhere? I bet you've probably got another 10 articles you need to finish publishing or something.
Yeah, I've only got 2 to publish before.
Only 2. Well, we better go soon. Someone asked about links. I can't see the. There was a couple of questions actually, and we'll do them in one question. Do you have a minimum word count for your articles?
No, I produced a video recently saying that I'd gone from a lot of 2,000 word articles to as short as it needs to be. So some of my best content at the minute is 700-800 words. Yeah,
as long as it needs to be is the right answer, I think. And what is your link building strategy?
On my main site currently, my biggest site currently, none. I don't do any. It's just 100% organic. Gets around 150,000 organic searches a month, and it's just all natural.
All natural
I do
links,
have one site which I call it my high ticket item site. So again, it's a niche I've not revealed, and all the items are kind of $1,000 and upwards. And I thought, to be competitive, I'll try building some keywords on it. So I do purchase a link building plan from a company. And it's only early days. It's only been 3 months, so I'm not really seeing much effect from it. DA's gone up a little bit, but we'll see.
Again, Morton said in our chat, the interview that I posted today, that he doesn't do any link building at all.
Yeah,
doesn't do it.
Yeah, well, Morton sold a site recently. I think it was Animal Know-How, and we were literally head to head in that niche on that site.
Yeah,
both naturally, both organic.
And interestingly, again, I'm talking about link building. I was talking to someone else today, and they said, because they'd watched my stream where I did some link building live, nerve-wracking, but we did build a link. But what happened was I had to pay for it. It was like $30. But Google, the person I was talking to today said that Google is now kind of cotton on to these sites where they have in their header or footer, write for us, submit an article, all those sites that we go searching for to get a guest post, and that links from those sites have been devalued by Google because Google knows that you're actually buying a link, basically, which is obviously what Google hates. I don't know if there's any evidence to support that, but I guess it would make sense because Google would probably see that there's lots of people searching with their niche. I think
it waters down the link. I know there is, like I say, I'm not an expert on it, but I know there is certain links that if they are shared too many times or they're linked out from one article too many times, it dilutes the strength of the link. So if it starts over 100 domain authority, the link, let's say the link's really, really strong, and it gets used so many times, like shared out too many times, it starts to drop. So eventually that link that you think's really strong on a really strong domain ends up being quite a weak link in the end. So,
yeah.
But I'm no expert on it.
Steve said a good tip from Carl as well about ordering articles with, say, 1,000 words, then adding 500 of your own, and boom, you have a 1,500 word article for the price of 1,000.
Yeah, so basically a lot of people saying that they wanted these 1,500 word articles but struggling to outsource. So I just said, well, a little tip that I do, I order sort of 10 or 20 short articles, around 800 words. They nail the topic. And then when I get them back, I just add a couple more paragraphs myself. So it takes like an hour. You've gone from having an 800 word article to a 1,200, 1,300 word article, and it's cost you like $10, $20.
Yeah, and the bits that you add are probably better than your writers anyway. I don't know what your writers are like, but it can vary in quality, can't you?
Yeah, it's much easier just to kind of top an article up than write it from scratch.
Kieran is backing up my thoughts on the Write For Us page. He says, I think sites that join Matt Diggity's, no diggity, no rank. You remember that little rap that we did on the live stream on that? Probably best not to remember that. I'm going to maybe do a viral song on that. We'll have to think about that. Matt Diggity's guest posting agency aren't allowed to have a Write For Us page, so there must be something in it. Interesting. Very interesting. So I think we're nearly come to the end. For the last 5 minutes or so, if anyone wants to be a special guest on the channel, on the stream, like maybe Adrian or Doug or Sean, I think Sean's probably gone. He was here earlier, but I don't think he's here now. If you want a link, I've got a quick link and you can come in and join us for a quick chat. If not, then we'll do a couple more questions.
Adrian has a lot to answer for with the Carl Broadbent, so get him on.
Is that where it comes from? Because Dana has taken that now, and she loves that. That's your new name.
I said I will forever be known now as Carl Broadbent.
The question here: any tips for a newbie when we create Amazon account? I see that you've been talking about this quite a bit in the chat. Sorry, I've not picked up on all of it. You can create your Amazon account whenever you like. At the end of the day, Amazon are not going to come and take a look at your stuff until you start sending traffic and generating sales. So I'd say don't delay. Sign up. As long as you've got a URL that you can type in, that'll be fine. You'll get access then to your site Stripe. You'll be able to add images, add links, and all that kind of stuff. Any advice on that on Amazon?
Yeah.
Just do that, yeah. Helen thought that Carl Broadbent was thanks to Justin.
Oh, I don't know. I know Adrian called me Broadband in the stream, and then it just went from there. I lost track of the comments then. I was laughing too much.
Brendan asks, are meta tags important?
No.
No. Well, I think you're in with Morton and the rest of those guys. You've ditched your SEO plugin, haven't you? So you can't even you can't be adding meta tags. You don't have a plugin.
Have it on one website, and it's just because it was just there. But anything that I've started that's been used, anything within the last year and a half has not got one. It's just got a site. It's just got the sitemap on it, and that's it.
Yeah, I think the consensus with most people that I talk to is that meta tags are becoming redundant. They're a bit of a legacy hang-up from the old days. I'm talking about the 90s and 2000s, where Google and Alta Vista and Ask Jeeves and all these other wonderful search engines that we had back then, they weren't very clever, and they used meta tags to decide what an article was about. They weren't able to crawl it like Google does today. There was even a meta keywords tag where you could specify the keywords for the article. You could stuff them all in there, and the search engine would read that tag and take that on board. So, and Morton today was saying that, or yesterday whenever I interviewed him, that they could actually harm you, and it's better to maybe leave out the meta description and let Google decide what that's going to be, because generally Google will decide what it's going to be anyway.
Yeah, because Morton has a really good video on it. I actually watched that, and it was one of the things that convinced me to do it. And he has a good description where it shows you he has a pet article, and because it lists different type of pets in it, if you created that one meta description, it was only ever going to be valuable for one person searching a certain type of pet, where he had several different pets within this article. So Google could pick and choose the best meta description that fit the viewer.
Fit the keyword
seven
search,
more
exactly.
chances of getting a click.
You'll have a better click-through rate then, because it's gonna grab someone's eye when your result matches what they're looking for.
Yeah, Google knows who that visitor is better than you do. So yeah.
So let them serve the search results page if they want to. Yeah. Although, as I say, I think they'll ignore the meta if they want to. They don't. It's not guaranteed that they're going to take the meta. Okay, there was one question. Sorry, Sue, I missed that question earlier. I know you've reposted it, but you can repost as much as you like. As you're a WP Eagle, you get special privileges. What are your big goals, Carl? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What's the plan?
So 5 years done,
or even 12 months.
Not working. So next 12 months, yeah. I mean, it's the big focus at the minute. So I've got the next 5 or 6 weeks to get the mega site uploaded with all the content, get it published, get it off the ground. My biggest focus is productivity, really, next year. I know what I want to do. I know I want to build some sites. I want to flip some sites. I'm probably going to sell my biggest site. And I just want to put the procedure and the processes in place. I've got a team, great team, writers, VAs. I've got everything, but I just can't kind of manage it well enough. I probably need to talk to Doug. And I know he's good on productivity and all that. I need to put the structure in place so it runs smoothly. At the minute, it's me still doing everything, even though there's a team there. You know, the writers are great, but sometimes they don't. Click a box in a spreadsheet, and that means I get 2 articles, the same one, or somebody doesn't put it to the right website even. So I just need to get that process in place. So it needs to be automatic. It needs to be, here's a spreadsheet of keywords. The writers all go on the spreadsheet. They choose the topics. They upload it to the website. They then inform the editor. They then edit it, and I'm the final one who pushes publish. And that should just roll. I just want that to churn out.
So it's getting automation up to a level where it literally is just you only have to maybe do the final publish, but I guess it can get to a point where you trust people enough that you don't even have to worry about that.
Yeah, well, my writers all have access to the spreadsheet. They all have access to the website, and they all have secondary. Well, actually, some of them have secondary access to Amazon, so you can add a secondary users onto your Amazon account. So they
I've seen that. That's a new feature, I think, is it? Maybe.
I've been using it for about 6 months. I don't know if it was.
Oh, well, they've only just emailed me about it anyway. I just noticed that.
Yeah, so you can add 2 or 3 secondary users onto your Amazon, so they can go in, find products for you, put your links on it. They can't see any information, as in how much you're earning. So they can't steal anything. There's nothing can go wrong. And they can even add product links for you. So I want to get it to that point where I literally just upload the spreadsheets, and then at the end of the month, I just check, and there's X amount of articles published.
Perfect. There's a few questions coming in, so let's do like a bit of a quick fire. Jason asks, can the Google Brain see that you're using different writers? I wonder. It makes sense to add your own stamp to it when they arrive. I'm not sure having multiple writers is a bad thing.
No, I mean, I know people set up like fake personas and have an email address for those fake writers. And so they'll get an image, they'll get a fake email address, and they do it that way. Personally, I'm not too worried about that. I don't
think it matters if you've got multiple writers. Steve asks, what time do you start in the morning writing, editing, and then again at night? How many hours are you putting in? What time?
Start at 6:30. Start at 6:30. Then do a couple of hours, well, about an hour and a half, send the kids off to school, and then get back to writing. Have my lunch about 1 o'clock till about 2, and start writing at 2 again till about 4, till the kids come home. Have tea, spend some time with the kids and the family, and then start writing again at about 10. I say writing, it's more publishing. I don't write much anymore. Start publishing again about 10, go to bed about 11:30.
Wow. You putting the hours in anyway, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Doug, I was going to say...
I am going to change. I mean, you know, the whole idea is to get this to a point. That's why I want to get the process right. It should be at a point now where I don't have to do all this. And it's not, because I've not set it up right. So if I can get that side of it done, you know, I shouldn't have to work so much.
No.
But it is good that, you know, I can work when I want. I can work when I want. I just choose to still work a lot.
That's fine. You got that. I mean, what would you do? Well, apart from play golf. Okay, there's a few more questions. I will get to them. I just want to quickly pick up on Doug. So Doug's talking about a contest. I don't know what that is. Doug, I've just emailed or Skyped you a link if you want to just quickly join us and explain what that is. Also, Emilio's in the house. Good to see you. If you want to join us as well, let me know and I'll ping you a link to join us. What I also wanted to say is, I wanted to do a horn. Because Glenn has kindly donated 100 Danish kroner. I'm not sure how much that is, but I think it at least covers a beer. He's doing some computer science exams, and we're just babbling in the background, but he says that helps. Well, I know if you're doing computer science exams, I think we all know that you're a bit of a whiz with the computer. I don't think you need a paper to paper to prove that. But fine, if that's what you want to do, then good luck with them. Justin asked, will your mega site use YouTube? Are you creating video content for it?
No, it's going to be organic blog traffic, 100%. I do recommend doing YouTube if you can do, if it fits it. And it does. I could do YouTube for it, but I don't have plans to. I think it's going to be enough work just getting it to where it's going to be with blogs. Okay.
Well, Doug is in the green room. So should we bring Doug on for a minute? He's got some competition that's going on. Let's see. Hi, Doug.
Hello,
You're live. Please don't swear.
Oh, we can't cuss here.
Well, yeah, I know you can, but I'm a family friendly channel. So, what is this competition or contest you've got going on?
Yeah, so I have a contest. Thanks for inviting me on. I was just trying to make jokes in the chat, and then here we are. But yeah, I'm having a contest, and you and I chatted just a couple weeks ago, and I was going to sort of push and rush a contest through just to learn the mechanics. So a couple awesome prizes. I was trying to do something smaller, and it ended up just being like pretty big prizes. So we have Market Muse, which is an on-page SEO and content optimization tool, sort of high end. So there's a big prize, a year access for that. Also Genius Link. We have Amalinks Pro came on board as well. And that is a 10 site lifetime pass, which is not something you could even buy. That's a very valuable piece there. We also have Keyword Keg and KW Finder. So I think that's 5 of them. Free to enter. The link is somewhere in the chat, but I'm sure, if you look around for it, you could find it. It runs through Black Friday, end of day Black Friday, and the winners are announced on Saturday. So there's going to be several winners, and yeah, just free to enter. You could share it around. It's one of those where the more entries, or you get more entries if you share it around. Okay, so how do you enter? Do you want our email address or something? How does it work? Yep, email address, and then I think you can also, email address is what I want. So do email address, and then you're entered. You'll get like a confirmation email, and I think you have to click yes or confirm, and then you'll have the opportunity to get more entries. And there's like 5 or 6 different ways.
Okay, go check that out. Hopefully you'll find the link in the chat. I'm just having a look for it now.
There's a lot of chat about Doug's shirts. Everybody likes your shirt, Doug.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, my wife just got it for me. I don't know if you can see the.
I don't know. Are you allowed to wear Christmas shirts in November?
Yeah, I think so. I am.
It's legal in the UK, is that?
What is the URL? Is it something that you can read off? Is it nichesiteproject.com/? Oh my god!
I'm trying.
In the end, the greatest snow. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Everything's screwed up here. It was a mistake bringing me on. Apparently,
it isn't a snowball at all. It's fear. What is it?
You have to watch the U.S. office to know what that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
It's nichesiteproject.com/November 2020. Sorry.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm gonna enter. I'm just gonna do it right now. I'm putting my email address in. I think you can log in. You can do it with Facebook as well. I think. What are you running it? It's King Sumo to manage it all.
Yep. King Sumo, and per our conversation, Alex, I'm probably going to do one of the ideas you had, which is build a site, give it away like pretty quick afterwards, and just do it mostly all on the YouTube side. So that'll be something coming up in the future.
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining us, Doug. And
thank you.
All is well with you. And yeah, go and check out Doug's competition. Obviously, you all know Doug. Go check out his channel. I think we're all streaming tonight. I think we're all competing, weren't we? But hey, yeah, there we go. Speaking of streamers, look what we've got. It's Amelia.
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, Amelia.
What's up?
So you were streaming earlier. How did that go?
It was great, and I just have to give Morton a shout out. He gave out not one copy of his new course, but he gave out 2 copies to my audience today, and one of them is in the chat today here on your stream, Alex, and I just was so thrilled. Mm-hmm.
Was it Sue?
Yes.
The one? Perfect. Sue is a WP Eagler, so she definitely deserves it. That's fantastic. So I posted a video with Morton today as well. I mean, it's not like he's got a course to promote or anything, but yeah, we had a great chat. And I will just say that if you want to put a date in your diary, Morton will be joining me live on the 15th of December. We had a busy diary, so we had to put it a few weeks ahead. And he's promised to give away some of his course. Then I'm seeing as he's given away 2 on your stream, I'm going to ask for at least 2. So yeah, that should be fun. His course is really good. So what else have you been up to, Amelia?
Well, I just wanted to continue shouting that out because we're going to do sort of a build with me like January. So in his course, he's going to do an over the shoulder. I'm going to start a new site and you can build with me. And then I'm going to do the same in my community, probably less videos, less over the shoulder, because I'm going to leave that to the experts like you guys. But it's just like trying to get people sort of fired up on starting some new projects to say, okay, 2020 was a dumpster fire. Let's take 2021 and then build some cool stuff, and all the stuff that we gained when we were in our pajamas sitting at home on the couch because we lost our jobs or whatever. And like, let's do something with it. So this is the call out. Let's start something new in January.
I think that's great. I know that Sean Mars is going to be involved in that. I'm more than up for doing that as well. I think it's great to share, and I think it's good to work on stuff together so that you can bounce ideas, you can hold each other's hands, and just spur each other on, as it were. So it sounds like a great project. So if we want to get involved in that, what do we need to do? Sorry, what was that, Doug?
Amelia's always about a motivation, and she's always motivating me to do stuff. So that's why I started watching her channel. So good on you.
Well, because motivation is a hard thing to maintain, especially when you're at home, and just with all the things that we have to take us away from doing what we need to do, all the social media and phones and everything like that. So it's good to have someone like Amelia that can gee us up, as it were, if that's a phrase. I don't know. Good. Well, thank you. So, anything else to report? I mean, your Wednesday streams seem to be gaining momentum. I think you had a good, was it 25, maybe 30 today?
You know what's funny that you say that is I've been going back and forth about whether or not to continue those streams just because the attendance level kind of goes up and down. And so I was dead set before this morning saying, okay, my December 16th stream with Chris, and with Fix was going to be my last one. And then I had such a great time this morning. And here I am streaming on your side sort of on accident, and I just got to really think about whether or not that's...
This accident has happened before. I think a week or so ago. Chris came in and Adrian came in, and we were all hanging out, and it was all good fun. But anyway, it is getting late, and I don't want to keep Carl up, as he's got a couple more articles to write. I think we've done most of the questions. Sorry if we didn't answer your questions. We've tried to answer many. I think we did quite a few, Carl, didn't we? If you want to learn more about Carl, you'll find his channel in the description. I'm sure you're all on there anyway. Go over there, subscribe, check out his videos. He shares lots of good stuff, and of course check out Amelia and Doug's channel as well, although they're not linked in the description. But if you search for them by name, you'll find them. I'm sure that everyone in my stream is on your channels as well. And good to see all the regulars, all the WP Eaglers. But I'm going to bid my guests goodbye for now, and I'll sign off on the other camera. See you all soon. Wowee, that was fun, wasn't it? No technical problems to speak of. Well, apart from that muffled sound at the very beginning, but we'll edit that out or something. So thank you all for joining me. I'm sorry, as I say, if we didn't answer all the questions. We did try and do as many as we possibly could. I will get Carl on again soon, because obviously we want to find out how that big site is going, and just keep in touch. So I've got a stream tomorrow afternoon, as I said, and I'm going to be, I think we're going to be doing some content, or I'm going to be doing some content. I'm going to add some content to Best Roof Box. I may even try and write a piece of short content live. We'll see how that goes, but definitely going to try and publish a few things. Yeah, thank you all for joining me. Thank you for the super chats. Glenn, I think it was only the one super chat, so thank you very much for that. I think it was about £10 actually, so it's more than one beer. It's a few beers, maybe 2 beers. Price of beer nowadays, but thank you. Thank you, MMK. I'll see you on Tuesday as well. And thank you very much for Carl even for joining me. And thanks for our special guests there at the end, Doug and Amelia. Yeah, that's all really. Check out the video that I posted earlier with Morton. He shares some really good tips and advice, some of which we spoke about tonight. But yeah, go and check that out. It's the kind of thing that you could probably have on in the background and just listen to the audio rather than you know look at our faces, especially mine, for an hour or so. So you could just probably listen to that. And yeah, I'm going to do the usual sign off. And I'll see you all soon. I may have a video for you on Friday. I'm working on my how to choose a niche website. How to choose a niche video. I'm not sure if that's going to be done by Friday. But if it is, I'll, of course, publish it. But anyway, I'll see you all tomorrow if you're going to make it on the Thursday stream for the Hangout. I think it's going to be half an hour later, possibly, because I've got a phone call at lunchtime. So it'll probably start about 1:30 UK time. But yeah. I'll see you soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Hang on. There we go.